Hi folks, this is a video I wanted to make about the perils of buying boats, or anything for that matter, online. We've obviously been selling boats remotely online for years now, and a lot of our customers we've never actually met in person. Due to the current COVID situation and the restrictions on travel, there's an even higher proportion than normal now buying completely remotely. We're doing a lot of deals we've completed recently have been completely remote. We've never met the people, which is in many ways is a good thing, but there's also a lot of negative aspects to it as well. And one of the things that's happening is because there are more people prepared to buy remotely, and there's a lot of people online looking at stuff at the minute, there's also been a lot of scammers and an increase in the number of scammers operating, trying to take advantage of the situation. It's come to my attention of a few cases, and there's one scammer in particular that has been stealing information off our website. They've been stealing photographs, descriptions. They've even been trying to pass off our video tours as their own and saying that they work in conjunction with us, which is a complete and utter lie. And this guy has unfortunately defrauded a few people out of fairly significant sums of money, and it's completely despicable. So what I wanted to do was make this video to bring attention to it, and also to give you some tools to combat this if you are looking at buying a boat or anything remotely, without actually physically viewing it in person. Rather than shooting from the hip, I've made a few notes so don't forget what I want to tell you, because this is important stuff. And if you are looking at buying a boat or anything without viewing it in person, you really do need to know what you're doing. I like to think we've got a good bit of experience. So the first thing, I'm just going to run through these things quickly. The first thing is, if something looks too good to be true, then it generally is. So a lot of, in the instance where the cases that I'm aware of, where we've had boat information stolen and re-advertised, it's always been advertised at a ridiculously good price. So a boat that would cost £40,000 is being advertised for £20,000. Something that would have cost £20,000 is being advertised at £10,000 or less. If something looks, and obviously these scammers always tend to pick the best looking boats that they can find. They're not going to advertise something that's a bit of a heap of scrap. They're going to advertise a really nice looking boat for a really good price. So, intuition, trust your gut, trust your instinct. If it looks like it's too good to be true, then generally speaking, it is. So that's the first thing. If it looks like an unbelievably good deal, just treat it with caution. That's a big one. The second thing is, if you are interested in a boat and you can't get travel to view it, then ask the seller to get on the phone with you, to do a FaceTime call or a WhatsApp call. Do a video call with the seller where you can see the seller, like see their face, and then get them to walk you around the boat, so that you can verify that they actually have the boat in their premises or in their possession. And they're not selling something, they're not selling thin air. It's not just something that they've stolen photographs off the internet. So ask them to actually get on a video call and walk around the boat. That's a big thing, and it's super easy to do. And everybody now has a smartphone. Every seller has a smartphone. If they refuse to do that, walk away straight off. The other thing that you can do, which is a little bit more intrusive, but it's worth doing, is ask the seller to see a copy of their ID. So just get them to send a photograph of their driving license or something, something in their wallet to verify that they are who they say they are. So that, again, you can tally that up with their physical appearance and stuff, so you know who you're dealing with. Because a lot of these companies, these more sophisticated scams, they're even going to the extent of stealing company information. So they're stealing information, company registration numbers and VAT numbers of legitimate, genuine companies, and passing themselves off as directors of those companies, using their company names and things. So if you ask them for some ID, it'll prove whether they are who they say they are. But it really is. It's really disheartening and despicable the length that these people will go to try and steal your money. So that's another one. Ask for their ID. Another big one to do is check out their social media. You'll tend to find these companies, they throw up a website and they'll operate for maybe 2 or 3 months, and they'll hit a number of, they'll sort of steal a bunch of money from a bunch of people, and then eventually they'll get shut down. There'll be enough people complaining about them that they'll shut them down. So they tend to have a very short online lifespan. So if you go and look at their, check out their social media feeds, check out their Facebook, check out their YouTube channel if they have one, check out their LinkedIn stuff, Check out their Instagram. If they don't have any social media stuff, that's a really strong warning sign right there. If they do have social media stuff, but it only goes back like a month or 6 weeks, that's another strong warning sign. Check. But a genuine company in this day and age should have several years really of social media footprint, certainly any reputable companies. So you want to check back through all their social media stuff and see, are they a genuine company? Also check for reviews. Now, not reviews on their own website. We obviously use reviews on our own website. We have more reviews on our own website than we do anywhere else because we ask people for feedback and reviews. But that's very easy to fake. Anybody can go and create a bunch of fake reviews and stick them on their own website. If you're looking at reviews, you should be giving more credence to Google reviews, Facebook reviews, things like that. The other thing that you can do is check out on the online forums, ask around on forums if there's anybody who has dealt with a company in the past, or ask around your local marina, have you heard of this company before? Try and get a bit of social proof from some other people that you know or who are on online forums to verify that the company actually exists. Then another aspect of the whole thing is there's a lot of bank transfer fraud that goes on too, where people will hack into email chains and hijack a conversation with a legitimate seller and send you fake bank details and stuff. So what things to do to combat that is, if you are convinced that you're dealing with a genuine, reputable seller and things, before you do a bank transfer, get on the phone with them and verbally confirm the account number and account details. So speak to the person you've been dealing with and get them to verbally confirm the account numbers. The other thing that I always do personally is, if I'm sending money to a new account, I always do a little small test payment for a few quid, like £8 or £10 or £11. Send a random number to the vendor, and then get them to call you back and confirm the number received. Get on the phone you back, say, yep, I received £8. Don't tell them what the number is. Get them to tell you what the number is. And once they confirm, yeah, I received £8, then okay, we've got a genuine buyer or genuine vendor we're dealing with. We've got a genuine bank account, and then you can go and send your 10% deposit. Also, be a bit wary if people are asking for more than 10 or sometimes 20% deposits. 10% is usually the industry standard. And then after you pay the deposit, that gives you time to arrange an independent survey, an independent inspection and stuff like that. If the vendor is reluctant to agree to an independent survey, like that's a surveyor where you contact the surveyor, you do a bit of research, find out who the surveyors are in the local area, contact 2 or 3 of them, ask them to verify that they know who the company is, and then pay them to go and check out the boat for you. That's always a good thing to do if you're buying something on scene or remotely. And if the vendor refuses to allow you to have an independent survey done, again, that's a really big red flag right there, because while they may have the boat and they might be able to do a walk around video tour with it or a video call, they might be trying to hide something if they don't want you to get a survey done. And that's basically it. So like at the end of the day, the rule of thumb is, if anything feels off at any stage, it just doesn't feel right, or you gotta trust your gut. If it feels off or doesn't feel right or looks too good to be true, just don't do it. Because at the end of the day, there will always be another boat. But if you've set aside a pot of money to spend on the boat, then chances are you're only going to get a chance. You are going to only get a chance to spend that pot of money once. So you want to make sure you're spending it on the right thing. So listen, this video, sorry, has probably been a little bit rambly, but I just felt I had to do something, because it really gets, it's so frustrating. People have saved up for years, in some cases, to get the money together to buy a boat, and they get suckered in by one of these scams, and because the price is always really attractive, they feel like more urgency to act faster than they normally would, because they don't want anybody else to get it, these are all things that the scammers prey on. And they'll tell you this, they'll try and create scarcity, and they'll tell you there's other people interested, and they'll tell you whatever they think they have to tell you to get you to part with your money. But do not, under any circumstances, do it without going through the checks that I've just outlined and making sure you're dealing with a reputable company. So listen, hopefully this helps somebody out. If you know somebody who's looking at buying a boat remotely, or anything for that matter, and you think they've showed it to you and you've got sort of gone, that looks a bit fishy, by all means, send them this video, share them the video, give them my phone number. I'd be happy to talk to anybody. If you've got question marks yourself, you're looking at something and you're just feeling this isn't 100% right, give me a shout or send me an email, a link to the boat, and I'll give you my own opinion on it. But it's just really unfortunate that those few people I've heard of recently, they only contacted me after they'd actually been suckered in. So, and a far rather would have talked to them beforehand. So listen, hopefully this helps a few people out. By all means, please share it around, and if it helps somebody save a bit of heartache and financial loss, then all the better for it. Thanks for watching. Cheers.